Dennis, in more ways than one, this is going to be a very special interview.
Mm.
I'll talk later about how me and Tina know each other, but joining us right now on the Heister Automotive Group hotline, Tina Firesheets. She is the author of a brand new book called 100 Things to Do in Winston-Salem. Wait a minute, do I have that right? 100 Things to Do in Winston-Salem Before You Die. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, that's right.
All right. So, Tina, the reason why this is important to me is because Dennis is notorious for disrespecting the city of Winston-Salem. He calls it a pit stop on the way to Asheville.
Oh,
It is something I said. I'm on record saying it. It's out there on social media. It's something that I said. It is. I'm not afraid
On
to
top
admit
of
that I
that,
said it.
it's timely because earlier this week, Clemson football head coach Dabo Swinney said that he wants to do something cool, like take his football team to Italy instead of just going to Winston-Salem all the time. So I figured we needed to just kind of stop the Winston-Salem slander. You're the perfect person to bring on for this.
yes, thank you, thank you. In writing this book, I kind of fell in love with Winston-Salem. I've been, I've been a resident of the Piedmont Triad since the early '90s, and I moved to go to UNCG. But I've been, going to Winston-Salem, my husband and I, before we became parents, and back when we did fun things, we would often go to Winston-Salem. We would go like every other weekend, and then when we had our son, it's that stopped a little bit. Life just kind of, shifted, and so we kind of got out of touch, and so doing the research and the work for this book has kind of put me back in Winston-Salem again, and it's just been a real gift. I mean, I'm rediscovering it. I mean, there was a lot I already knew about it, because I've been in this area for so long. But there was a lot I didn't know, and so I've got my own little list out of here too. So
Okay. Well, how did you go about selecting 100 things? Like that's a long list, 100 things to do in one city. How did you go
Yeah.
about selecting and narrowing it down to 100?
well, because I've been in this area for a real long time, and because I did have, quite a bit of familiarity with the city. To tell you the truth, I sat down with my notebook one day, um, and I came up with, I don't know, 70, like right off the bat, without even doing very much research. I mean, or consulting the web in any sort of way. I mean, just off the top of my head. Um, it helps, I've been in journalism for a real long time.
Mhm.
So as a journalist, you kind of have a good sense of what's going on in your community and communities around you. So that was most definitely a benefit. Um, and when I ran a magazine that was published by the News and Record, I would kind of venture over into Winston-Salem. And so I had done their media tour, albeit some years back. So, yeah, it wasn't hard to do actually. And then, to flesh out the list, I just know people who know a lot of things. So I made two phone calls. One to Jeff Smith, Smitty's Notes. He's known throughout Winston-Salem for Smitty's Notes, a long running e-newsletter that if you want to know anything about what's going on in Winston-Salem, you
Sign up, Dennis.
yeah.
You got to sign up.
Yes, yes. He's like, I call him Mr. Winston-Salem,
Mhm.
and then he pointed me in the direction of other people, and so yeah, I had a conversation with him, and then I had a coffee date with Marquita Kiefer, who's the director of communications marketing for Visit Winston-Salem, and the book just wrote itself from there, really.
Tina Firesheets joining us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. We're talking about Winston-Salem and why it's not just a pit stop on the way to Asheville. Dennis, Tina, I've told Dennis before, we haven't had a chance to do this, but I've wanted to, over the summer, at some point, like go to Winston, maybe get something to eat from Sweet Potatoes, go get some Dewey Square cakes, and then like on a Saturday night, go to a race at Bowman Gray Stadium, and then we can go downtown on Fourth Street and hang out and kind of go bar hopping and things like that. So there's some cool things to do, of course. But what are some things that maybe you found out that about Winston that you didn't even know after even living in the Triad and living close by in Greensboro this whole time?
Well, first, can I back up to sweet potatoes?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So here's the thing with Asheville, and I love Asheville. I go to Asheville regularly.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody goes to
Do
Asheville.
you stop in Winston-Salem on the way to Asheville?
She's too close. Come on. That's like, no.
Sometimes. But here's the thing. Everybody goes to Asheville. Everybody goes to Asheville. And I love it. I mean, there's a good reason why. Winston-Salem, sweet potatoes, Vivian and Stephanie Tyson. Stephanie Tyson's the chef. She's a James Beard nominated 2 years in a row chef out of Winston-Salem, and she's her restaurant that she runs with her partner Vivian on 4th Street. You can pull right up to the restaurant a lot of times and walk right in. That will never happen in Asheville. You will drive for maybe 30 minutes to find a parking spot, and then you got to pay maybe $10, $15, whatever, for that parking space. And if you haven't made reservations at a James Beard nominated restaurant in Asheville many months in advance, you're not getting in. And that's that's the benefit and the charm of Winston-Salem. It is a smaller town, but folks know you there, and there's a warmth there, and a welcome that you get there that frankly, folks in Asheville just don't always have time for. So, going back to your what did I discover in writing the book this time around, back when I was going to Winston-Salem regularly, I would hit up kind of the same spots. What's happened since is Innovation Quarter, for one, and that whole Bailey Park area has just exploded, and there's so much to do. Bailey Park is just wonderful. I love what they're doing at Innovation Quarter. There's just big, smart stuff going on there, and
get you a whole new leg printed out there.
Yes, exactly. and wonderful food, and handcrafted cocktails. So I mean, just that whole area. There's just so much technology and research and advancements in healthcare, but also, entrepreneurship and arts and culture. And really the whole arts and culture scene has just exploded in the last, 10 years in Winston. And it's great. I mean, it had kind of the foundation, right? Because you have the School of the Arts, North Carolina School of the Arts there. So, naturally there's going to be a lot of culture and opportunity there. But then, and then of course you have, Wake Forest University, Winston-Salem State University, and the galleries and the art opportunities there. But the artist community and the artist and musician communities in Winston-Salem and frankly the restaurant communities too have really made it a place where you want to go and try some new food, see some great art. You can take your family. You don't have to take your family, whatever. There's just so much there. And there's a lot happening there, even on a Sunday. There's stuff happening there on Sundays now that, if I weren't having to, be ready for work on Monday, I'd probably be taken advantage of. So it's really cool. It's been really fun to kind of observe it grow, and then also kind of dig in there and talk to some of the people behind, making it grow.
Sure. Tina Firesheets, the book, 100 Things to Do in Winston-Salem Before You Die. Final question for you. She joins us here in the Heaster Automotive Group hotline. What's the one thing I got to do in Winston-Salem? The one thing I need to do.
She's like, people ask about the one thing all the time.
Hey, gotta have that one. Gotta have that one.
It's so hard to pin it down to one. I love food and I love to eat. So I would, my first inclination is to say you got to eat.
Okay.
there are lots of recommendations in the book. If you like craft beer, yeah, I mean, you gotta drink some craft beer and sample around and eat. But if you had just like a compressed amount of time and you wanted to get the most bang for your buck, I would say the Arts District in
Okay.
Winston-Salem or Innovation Quarter, because you're going to get the full slate of all the best that it has to offer in terms of art, dining, just things to see and do.
All right, Chris, there it is. That's where we're going.
Dennis, before we go, I got to tell you this backstory. First off, before I tell you this backstory, to say thank you, Tina, right now. To say thank you, Tina. Just say it. Say it, Dennis.
Thank you, Tina.
Okay. Because there's no Chris Lee if there wasn't a Tina Firesheets.
Okay.
When I was in high school, in 10th grade, I was helping to set up for what was it, like a career day or something like that. And she walks in, I'm helping her for the news and record. She's like, hey, you should be a part of this minority journalism workshop. And I wasn't too thrilled about it at first and sent the information to my mom. My mom's like, no, you definitely have to do this. You say you want to be on TV. This is the foundation. And so my mom, talked me into it. That started a relationship with Tina and other people at the Greensboro News and Record. And I got my first job before college even started, the summer before that, at the News and Record. And a lot of it was thanks to Tina's guidance and her pushing me along and all that good stuff. And the rest is history. Now I'm here working with you and at Capital Broadcasting in Raleigh. And it's all because of that.
See, that's more than just thank you, Tina. I owe everything to Tina. That's what that is. That's what that is. That's not thank you, Tina. That's I owe everything to Tina. See, now I got to go to Winston-Salem to thank Tina. I'm going to Winston-Salem.
You do.
Might stay a weekend.
Oh, that's even better. You need to do that because there's too much to do just to go for the day or the afternoon.
All right, my girlfriend, I know she's listening. We're going to spend a weekend in Winston-Salem. Whenever, we're going to find out.
Do you like arcade games? Do you like video games?
Yes, God, yes, I do.
You're speaking his language.
Yes, I do.
Oh my God. So this is in the book. There is an 80s arcade Airbnb
Sold.
that you must book.
Sold.
You stay there. If you stay at the Airbnb, you get to play the video games. It's the largest privately owned collection of 80s arcade games in the Southeast.
Wow, this sounds like content.
Maybe the Eastern U.S. Yeah.
I'm there. I'm gonna look it up right now. I'm booking it.
It's on Airbnb at Wieners and Losers.
Speaking of booking it, where can people find your book? 100 Things to Do in Winston-Salem Before You Die.
Oh gosh. So Reedy Fork Press. If you go on their site, it's on there. You can click the link and buy it directly from the site. I am also having a book launch event in Winston-Salem at the Visit Winston-Salem office in Brookstown. April 15th. I'm looking at my notes because I have a terrible memory. From 10 to 2 or 10 until noon-ish on April 15th. That's a Saturday. We're going to have beverages, probably coffee, maybe some Krispy Kremes, some hot Krispy Kremes, maybe. I don't know. There's going to be some eats and drinks and raffles for prizes and books.
Nice.
Awesome.
What more can you want? What more can you want, Dennis? You're going to fall in love with the 336. I'm going to make sure of it.
Arcade games and donuts? Yeah, I'm there.
Yes, and later on in the day, a really nice beer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tina Firesheets, thanks for your time. Really do appreciate it. And I'm definitely going to check out this book for sure.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, guys.